Man, what a weird little week I've been in. I've just been, I don't know, I've just been like in this funk. Like, not that something's happened or anything, because it hasn't. Nobody pissed me off. Nothing went wrong. In fact, my life's been pretty freaking good, if I'm being honest. But this week, man, I've just been like gray. And I feel kind of silly about it. Food hasn't been hitting, music's not hitting. I went and sat by the pool, which, if you know me, sunshine and poolside are my medicine. But even that wasn't hitting, and I left. I'm like, girl, are we hormonal right now or something? Are we gonna be starting? Girl, maybe you need to zip yourself into a little bubble for a few days and just protect the general public from you. It's funny because eventually I was like, all right, Miss Thang, we're going to take this little funk for a walk. And I've been practicing this whole noticing thing. Gosh, by the way, I just love summer. I love the mornings. I love summer days. I love summer evenings. Love summer. And I was only in this walk for probably 2 minutes. And I was like, really? Locusts? Locusts right now? I mean, kick a girl when she's down. That's the sound of the alarms going off that it's late summer. Summer's ending. No, not when I'm dragging around this gray, mopey Eeyore energy. Ugh. Who invited these little shits on my walk? And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay. This isn't hormones. This is why I'm sad. This is why I'm walking around with a cloud over my head. Which is ridiculously hilarious because there are people with actual problems out there, and apparently I'm having this like existential crisis because the locusts are back. Get a frickin' hobby, Jen. Yeah. So I'm walking with locusts. I'm realizing summer's ending. Now I'm making fun of myself for being personally victimized by late summer insects. So I'm like, all right, let's lean into this. I walk for a few more minutes. And then I start realizing something. I'm like, I don't think I'm actually afraid of summer ending. I know fall comes and I like fall. It's football season, hoodies, fire pits, chai, pumpkin spice. Hey, we'll get to those pumpkin spice bitches in a minute. But I think what really bothered me was realizing that I had already started leaving. Summer wasn't leaving yet, but I was. And that pissed me off. Like, why do we do that? Why do we start leaving things we love before they're actually gone? You're probably thinking, like, what do you mean you're leaving early? But you know how like when that Sunday afternoon or Sunday evenings we get in that little funk because Monday's already creeping in. I remember as a kid, and I think I still get it as an adult, like, oh man, school tomorrow. Still got to do that homework. Or when it's that last night of vacation and the evening you're packing instead of catching another sunset on the beach. Or just like that energy of those last few days of packing up a house that you're selling, or when your friend's moving away, or it's the last day working with a cool coworker. It's such a strange human thing, right? We're standing inside something, but at the same frickin' time we're imagining ourselves without it. It's so ridiculous. It's like we're converting the present into a memory while we're still frickin' living it. Why? Why are we like this? And in one way, I'm like, well, isn't it natural to just start preparing for this next chapter? Or in a different way, isn't our brain just trying to protect us? Because not all endings feel good. So it's kind of like, like, are we trying to prepare our hearts? Is our brain trying to protect us from feeling as much pain? As if, like, maybe we won't feel the ending as bad if we start rehearsing it in advance? I don't know. But then as I'm, like, arguing with myself, I'm like, well, okay, does grieving something early actually reduce the grief later? Or do we just experience the ending twice? Because once is the rehearsed practice time, and then we just go through it again when it actually ends. Because, shit, we might call it preparation, but I think we're literally just rehearsing an absence that hasn't even happened yet. So why am I giving an ending time that it hasn't even freaking earned yet? You feeling me? We've got we've got pumpkin spice bitches lining up on their cinnamon broomsticks outside of Target to go in and get their fall welcome mats and wreaths. And I'm like, listen, hold up, hold up, hold up. Go back to your cars. It's still August. It's still hot. It's still Leo season. Go back to your little September HOA over there and get off my freaking property. You feeling me? September will have September. But gosh damn it, let August have August. Let me have my August. But seriously though, we know we're not talking about August, right? We know we're not just talking about summertime, right? I feel like all that really did was open up the junk closet in which the avalanche comes out of all the places I'm feeling some endings that are kind of all happening at once. So here I am this week, like one by one, kind of picking up the things falling out of that closet. Like, okay, well, where else am I doing this? You feel me? Like, where are you with chapters, seasons, eras? Where are you feeling some endings? Where are you feeling new beginnings? Is there something in your life that you're already talking about in past tense, as if it is past tense, but it's still your present? Like you're literally still standing in it? Like for me, besides the whole summer thing, I've got two major things ending right now that I guess I've just been hiding in the closet. And the first big one is my career. So when I zoom out of this immediate season that's leaving, I'm smacked with this amazing hair career that I was blessed with. I worked behind the chair in 4 different states, which led to being a national and sometimes global educator, which then led to my own business being an independent educator and artist, which I had so many losses in such a short period of time. Each time was getting harder to get back up. And then the final time was 2 years ago when I lost my sister, and gosh, I just couldn't get back up at that time. And I think I've just held this door open of like, okay, well, maybe I just need a little break. Maybe I just need to observe for a little while. Maybe I need to work on self. Which brings me to the other thing is that I've been in this soft girl era for those 2 years. And so I think that's the other thing that's ending, or that I haven't been admitting. I've just been kind of keeping that in the closet because though it began with such a big tragedy, it's been so wholesome for me. I have learned so much in this era of finally just stopping my freight train in life to just be instead of do. And so I think I'm wrestling with that this week of, well, if my career is ending, then I think I need to let that go and let that be the investment into whatever's next, though I have no idea what my next bio or title will be. But if I'm holding that box so tightly, I'm not giving myself room to receive something more, right? Or receive something next. And when I think about this soft era and the stillness that I've appreciated, I think there's an investment from that I can move forward while also allowing this to complete as well, right? I don't know. But as I laugh about my ridiculousness this week over locusts and hormones and feeling like Eeyore, it kind of led me to a space in my heart that's not as funny, actually, about being caught between two seasons and this argument within me that's, geez, a fierce version of this. So years ago, and just as a side note, I've gone back and forth about even sharing this because it involves my brother, and I don't want to tell his story for him, so I'm not, okay? But I do want to tell you what I experienced and honestly what I understand differently now. But so when our dad was diagnosed with brain cancer, it was all of a sudden he had to go through brain surgery. He had to learn how to walk, talk, eat, everything all over again. And so after brain surgery, my one brother, he stopped coming around as much. And shortly after, hunting season began, and that's something that he and our dad shared together. And so naturally in our family thread, my brother would send pictures of where he is, in the woods, places he and my dad would be normally hunting together. And sometimes he'd post a memory from other years in their hunting season. But man, that shit would piss me off because to me it felt like it was like in memory of. I'm like, "Bro, he's still fucking here. Dad would love to hear your stories. Dad would love to see these pictures. Dad would love to reminisce with you on the memories. Don't bury him before he's gone. Bro, bro, we've got the rest of our lives to miss him. But dude, I'm sitting right next to him. Get here. Tell him. Show him. Remember with him. He's still here." Oh, man, I had just so much rage and so much emotion that was living in my body. I had to start like researching this. So here I was like Googling and just trying to understand like where is he coming from with this? Why is my brother not coming around as much? Why is he acting like our dad's not here? Why is he sending pictures and telling of memories as if it's in memory of? And that's when I found out about something that's called anticipatory grief and how we all do that differently. And this is what my brother had to do in his anticipatory grief, where he had to balance what his nervous system needed, where my nervous system needed to be closer to my dad, to be there every waking hour he had and have conversations, pick his mind about life, ask him questions about life. I still had so much I wanted to learn from him, and my nervous system needed to handle it that way. And honestly, because that's my lived experience, I still understand that version of me. Actually, and I still agree with that version of me. There's still something in me that wants to scream, "He's here! Love him here! We'll have the rest of our fucking lives to miss him when he's not." But at the same time, because I've learned to understand anticipatory grief, I understand my brother more now too. So was he wrong? No, I don't think he was. I don't know. Was he? I think we could all have opinions on that. Was he serving what his heart and mind needed to do? Probably just as equally as I was doing what I needed to do, right? I mean, did he save himself any grief by softening the blow and starting early? Probably not, right? In the same way that me getting closer to my dad and leaning in and having all these more conversations didn't save me from less grief either. It didn't hurt either one of us less. But maybe that's the scream. Maybe that's the voice. Maybe that's the grayness that I was wrestling with this week. Like when that wants to come back to the surface, feeling that grief arrive in normal, everyday topics. Not grief as in losing someone. I'm talking about grief that coming back to the summer thing, grief that summer is ending, that anticipatory grief, feeling it in advance, and then choosing to lean in or pull away. Feeling that grief arrive isn't necessarily the same thing as handing grief custody of the present, right? I couldn't tell my brother when his grief was allowed to arrive in his body. Just like I can't tell mine when it's allowed to arrive. Because apparently mine arrives with frickin' locusts. Here, so let me think about this for a second. Maybe I can ask myself, how much of today am I willing to hand over to something that hasn't happened yet? But then we scroll to that ad for another frickin' graphic tee that says, positive vibes only, stay present, right? Well, that's easier said than done. Because depending on the situation, you can't stop thinking about an ending, right? You can't just like, oh, okay, no big deal. I'll just turn that off. Let's just X out of that tab. So then how do we do this? Right? Well, I wonder, this is going to go back to that episode where we say and instead of or. I wonder if this is another one of those and moments. What if we can have both? I think that actually works in this, where we can have that grief setting in that something is ending while also being present in it. So it allows us to feel that anticipatory grief, but also coexisting like, okay, yeah, I know you're there. I know that ending is coming. I'm acknowledging it. I'm going to be sad about it. But at the same time, I'm going to keep both feet inside the present and enjoy the rest of the present until the present is done. Ooh, I like that. I like the way that feels in my body. I like the way that feels in my lungs. I think I've been doing it wrong. I don't think the answer is pretending that the clock isn't ticking. I heard the locusts with my own ears, right? Our dad was terminally ill. The kid is really actually leaving to college. The house is really sold. The job, it really does end Friday. Like, we know. I don't think awareness is the problem. I think it's more like, maybe it's when awareness becomes this suction or this evacuation. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it. Like, we don't want to confuse awareness with that need for evacuation. Ooh. Yeah, I like that. Because if you think about it, Monday is a whole ass day in itself. It doesn't need part of Sunday also. And September gets its own 30 days. It doesn't need part of August. See, I've just always been a career woman, and I take a lot of pride in being a career woman. And so having these last 2 years of not having a traditional job nor running my business has been one thing. And keeping this door open, returning from this sabbatical of some sort. I'm at this point where this door is closing. I'm picture this with me. It's like the event is over. The seats are empty. The stage lights are off. And now I'm at this point like, damn, we really did that. And maybe that's what some endings are. Like, it's not abrupt, it's not failure, it's not regret, it's not evidence that we should have held on tighter. Maybe sometimes it's just this standing in an empty venue after a hell of a show, a hell of a ride. Damn, we really did that. I've heard people say over the years that grief is love with nowhere to go. I'm sure you've heard that too. The gratitude I'm feeling in my heart right now makes me feel like maybe in this situation with these smaller everyday endings, maybe sometimes grief is gratitude with nowhere to go. Because damn, that mattered too. And honestly, realizing that I am right this minute recording my 19th episode, 4 months into this. 4 months of showing back up in the world. I think this is also evidence that my quiet little era is ending too. What an era. So no, I don't think my little funk needs the fixing I thought it did. I think maybe I'm standing near the end of a few really beautiful things all at the same time. And apparently, subconsciously, maybe I can hear that clock ticking more than I wanted to admit. I'm so sad that summer is ending. I'm sad that this version of our life is changing. This has probably been our favorite summer ever as adults. I think I'm finally admitting that a career that I absolutely fucking loved may actually be complete. And maybe this quiet little soft era of my life is becoming something else. I don't know. But I don't want to spend what's left of any of them mourning them as if they're already gone. And I'm not telling you that you shouldn't feel sad when you know something is ending. Oh, apparently I can't even keep myself from getting emotionally bullied by a locust. Actually, I'm wondering something different now. Are we capable of hearing the clock without obeying it? Like, can we know September is coming without giving it August also? Can we know goodbye is coming without shortening the conversation that we're still lucky enough to still be having? Can we know something will become a memory without turning it into a memory too early? Like, I don't know what ending you can hear coming right now in your life. Maybe it's your kids leaving for school. Maybe it's somebody you love is moving. Maybe you're packing a house. Maybe your body's changing. It's aging. Or even medically. Maybe a relationship is becoming something different. Or gosh, maybe you too are standing in an empty venue of your career, looking around, thinking, damn, we really did that. Or maybe it's simple. Maybe it's simply that summer's ending and you're a little freaking sad about it. Me too. But we don't have to leave yet. Maybe we can look at whatever it is that's changing and say, yo, dog, I'ma miss you. And at the same time, we can remind ourselves, but you're still here, and so am I. Gosh. So a few episodes ago, I said I wanted less between me and my actual life. Like, I wanted that skin-to-skin contact with this whole strange, beautiful, wild human experience. And then we went into where I was saying, oh, I want to start noticing. And then it went into somehow all that noticing started bringing me home to self. And when we could finally center and ground, that's when we got quiet enough to realize, dang, I've changed. Or that, dang, I've changed my mind about some things. And now here we are on this episode. Nobody warned me that this whole noticing practice would also mean that I would notice life passing. Oof. Ooh. But apparently that's part of the bargain too. Being fully here doesn't only make us available to the beauty and rawness of life, it also makes us available to the ache of knowing we don't get to keep it. Actually, maybe we don't have to keep it, right? Maybe we just have to actually be here while it's here. Yeah. So yeah, hear the locusts, right? Hear them. Notice the days getting shorter. Feel that ache when something you love starts changing. Oh, man. Let's all do ourselves a favor. Let's not leave before it's over. Our next chapter will be here soon enough. It doesn't also get to take today. And when the goodbyes actually come, we'll walk through that too, together. Because after all, we're all just walking each other home.